Hello everyone and welcome back to The Decap. Now today I'm here with returning guest Brian West. Look at those rap bars. Hi Brian.
Hello D and happy 4th of July.
Thank you very much. And for this video, it won't be 4th of July when you see this video, but we're recording this on July 3rd. And for this video, we have another tournament-like format. We have the top duos in NBA history competing in a tournament. Now, let me run you through the seeds. There's 1 through 16 seeded, as you can see on your screen, and they are ranked by number of championships. And when they had the same championships, I tried to. I didn't do how many times they made it to the championship. I tried to do by competition and how early you played.
Well, if they went and they lost, they're losers. So why would you do that?
I don't know. Well, good question. So I guess I'm right to not do that.
Why don't you just segue right into seed number 16?
Seed number 16, two people that could not win it.
Couldn't win it.
Karl Malone and John Stockton. 15, Julius Erving, Moses Malone, the Boomers. Well, I guess they're not early. They're not that early like Bill Russell, who really is a Boomer, but they're still earlier on the NBA scheme. And number 14, even earlier than them, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West.
Uncle Jerry.
13, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce. 12, current day superstars, LeBron James and Kyrie Irving from the Cavs days. 11, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars.
Joey.
They were both on the Pistons teams that were in between Magic and Larry and Michael and the Bulls. And now, the 10th seed, Tim Duncan, David Robinson.
General.
The Twin Towers, the big fundamental, and the general. 9, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade from the Miami Heat. 8, Steph Curry and KD, the Snake. 7, Larry Bird and Kevin McHale. 6, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, the second Warriors team, the one that has more championships. 3, the Loyal Brothers, the Splash Bros, Steph and Klay. 5, Kobe and Shaq, the
Rest in
iconic
peace,
duo.
Kobe.
Rest in peace, the iconic duo. 4, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker. 3, Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Lou Alcindor.
2, Bill Russell and Bob Cousy. And the number 1 seed, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen with 6 championships, 6 for 6.
Now, first of all, I've got a little problem with the way you rank these. Bill Russell and Bob Cousy together had 6 championships, but Bill Russell, the legend, second only to Michael, had 10.
No, he had 11.
Even better.
Second only to Michael. Michael had 6.
My list of top 5 ever.
Oh.
Another episode, folks.
Another episode. But Bill Russell and Bob Cousy only won 6 together, and Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen went 6 for 6, and their competition was better as Bill Russell and Bob Cousy played an era with only 8
Wait, are we going to debate your ranking, or are we just getting into this?
No, we'll get right into the tournament. We'll try to go through this quick as the intro was kind of long. But the first game, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen versus Karl Malone and John Stockton. And I think this one's kind of easy. As this happened, they played in the same time, and Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen always won. Karl Malone, John Stockton always lost. So Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen will be moving on to the second round.
Result imitates life.
And
the mailman never really could deliver on those Sundays.
Now, moving on to the next game, the 8-seeded Warriors duo of Steph Curry and KD versus the 9-seeded LeBron James and Dwayne Wade Heat. Now, they won the same amount of championships, and KD and Steph were together shorter, which might make you think that they maybe Steph and KD were a better duo as they won the same amount of championships in a shorter time. But KD, Steph, they had Draymond, they had Klay. That team was great. And LeBron James and Dwayne Wade for 4 straight years were great. They did lose a couple times, but they still won twice. They did have Chris Bosh, but LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, I think they would win that one. 9-seeded Heat duo moving on.
I think you got the seeding wrong here anyway. I thought you should have flipped them anyway, so this is not really an upset the way you're describing it, but I agree with you.
Well, now let's move on to the third game, the 5-seeded Laker duo of Kobe Bryant and Shaq versus the 12-seeded LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. Now, this time the LeBron James duo will lose I mean, Kobe and Shaq, LeBron James, Kyrie will not be the iconic duo. Probably a top 3, top 4 duo of all time. They are the 5 seed, but definitely are a top 3, top 4. Kobe and Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal move on to the top 8, to the Elite 8 of this duo. Now, moving on.
So you just put LeBron one out of 2?
Yeah, LeBron went 1 out of 2.
Got it. Okay.
Now, moving on to the next, the fourth game of the first round, 4-seeded Tim Duncan and Tony Parker versus 13 Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. Now, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker won 4. 1 was with David Robinson, but a declining David Robinson. The duo won with Tim Duncan won 2 with David Robinson, but Tony Parker only won 1. And then the 13-seeded Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce won 1 championship. And I think that really tells you all you need to know. Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, a great duo. Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce weren't together for the longest period of time. They went to the Nets, and they couldn't really win there. On the Celtics, they won a championship. It was a close series, and I think Tim Duncan, Tony Parker have to move on.
Timmy and Tony.
Timmy and Tony.
Timmy and Tony.
Now moving on, the 6-seeded Warrior duo of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson versus 11-seeded Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars. This was a close matchup for us when we were choosing. Both were 2 guards, 2 great guards, but we both decided that the Warriors should move on, as I think Steph Curry is better than Isaiah Thomas already. Joe Dumars is probably better than Klay Thompson at this point, but Klay Thompson definitely could become better in the future. You could definitely say Klay Thompson was better, but I think Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, they won more. And I think this duo is just a better duo and moves on to the second round. Now, the 3-seeded matchup of Magic Johnson and Kareem versus Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West.
Ooh, old-time LA versus Showtime LA.
Yeah, this is a great matchup. This is probably one of the best matchups of the first round, even though it is a 3 versus 14. But Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that is 2 of my top 5 players of all time. That duo has to move on. So they move on
Jerry.
To the second round. Bye-bye,
Disrespecting.
Uncle Jerry. Now, moving on to the second to last match of the first round, number 7, Larry Bird and Kevin McHale. The 7-seeded Larry Bird and Kevin McHale versus number 10-seeded Tim Duncan, David Robinson. This was another tough one, but it came down to who the best player of the duos would be, and that is Larry Bird, and the Celtics move on to the second round. Anything to add?
Just a general question on round 1. Would you ever think that Tim Duncan and Tony would beat Tim Duncan and David? Isn't that interesting? Who would win that matchup?
I would say
Timmy and Tony or Timmy and David.
If you were saying who would win,
Does
both
Timmy
in
beat
their
himself?
primes, I would say Tim Duncan and David Robinson would win, but the better duo would be Tim Duncan and Tony Parker, as they were together longer and won more championships.
All right, same question for LeBron and Dwayne or LeBron and Kyrie.
Oh, LeBron and Dwayne.
All right, interesting.
Now moving on to the last match of the first round, 2-seeded Bill Russell and Bob Cousy versus 15-seeded Julius Erving, Moses Malone. And this matchup wasn't very close for us. Bill Russell, Bob Cousy move on with these. Julius Erving is a great dunker. He's a great player, but just Bill Russell, obviously they won 6 championships together, and that's hard to beat. So Bill Russell and Bob Cousy move on to the second round.
Love it.
Now, moving on to the second round right away, we have the 1-seeded Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen duo versus 9, LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. Now, we hated to do this, but LeBron James is out. Michael Jordan, Scottie, just too good, 6 for 6. They move on to the third round, and that's really all you can say. LeBron and Dwayne, they didn't win enough to compete with Michael and Scottie.
LeBron, keep chasing MJ, the best, greatest of all time.
Now, moving on to the second matchup, 4-seeded Tim Duncan and Tony Parker
Timmy
versus
Tony.
5-seeded Kobe and Shaq, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. Now, this is a 4 versus 5, but
TNT, baby.
I don't see this very close. Tim Duncan, Tim and Tony, but I don't see this one very close. Kobe and Shaq, I think, will win this one with ease and move on to the third round.
Ooh.
Now, moving on to the third game of the second round, the 3 seed Magic Johnson and Kareem versus the 6 seed Steph and Clay. And once again,
Ooh, the left coast matchup.
yeah, both in California. Now, again, the seeds are close, but Magic, Kareem, Steph, Clay, you can't really compare the two. Magic and Kareem obviously will win this one with ease, moving on to the third round.
You are more of an LA guy than a San Fran guy.
I don't know. Now, moving on to what? This is the last game of the second round. 2-seeded Bill Russell and Bob Cousy versus 7-seeded Larry Bird and Kevin McHale.
Ooh, Boston v. Boston.
Boston v. Boston. Who do you think should win this one? I gotta give
it to Big Bill and Bobby.
Me too.
Bill and Bobby.
I gotta give it to the championships. Bill Russell, I think he's better than Larry Bird. Bob Cousy, Kevin McHale, that's definitely an argument. You could say Kevin McHale as he played in a more modern era. Some people might say Larry Bird is even better than Bill Russell. But I definitely think Bill Russell is better. And I think the duo of Bill Russell, Bob Cousy will move on to the Final Four.
Now, by the way, if you put in Larry Bird and Dennis Johnson, good old DJ, like I suggested, they would have beaten Bill and Bob. But that's for the record.
I think Kevin.
Look at some of that passing on that YouTube video.
I think Kevin McHale was more of a duo with Larry Bird. He thinks it was more Dennis Johnson, but
another episode.
Besides the point, they lose. Moving on to the Final Four: Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen versus Kobe and Shaq. And this was so hard. We spent a while thinking about this one. Michael, Kobe, Scottie, Shaq. Shaq's definitely better than Scottie.
Definitely.
Michael's better than Kobe.
By much.
Not by much. Definitely the two best shooting guards of all time. But 6 for 6. I'll keep saying it. Michael Jordan, Scottie. Rest in peace, Kobe, but he has to step aside. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen move past and move into the championship of the top duos of all time. Now moving on to the other side of the Final Four. The 2-seed Bill Russell and Bob Cousy versus 3-seed Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Easy pick.
Classic, Boston, LA. But for us, this was pretty easy. Magic, Kareem. We think Kareem's better than Bill. Magic's definitely better than Bob Cousy. And on the court, I think Magic and Kareem played better. I don't know, maybe not play better, but they definitely had tougher competition, so had to be better. So Magic and Kareem move on to the championship. Now, the final matchup. Michael and Scottie, Magic and Kareem. I would say the two best duos. I think these are the two best duos in all of NBA history. And I would probably say the third is Kobe and Shaq. And then maybe 4 is Bill Russell and Bob Cousy. I don't know. 4 can definitely be debated, but I think it is. 1 and 2 are hard, but then Kobe, Shaq, 3. Now, I think when it gets to the top 2 duos of all time, you have to put aside how well they play together. You have to put aside, well, you don't put aside championships, but they both have 5 championships from Magic and Kareem and 6 from Michael and Scottie. So that's a little bit besides the point. They did go 6 for 6, which helps Michael and Scottie. But you really just got to think about, on a blacktop court, in their primes, who would win? Michael and Scottie, Magic and Kareem. And I think when you think about it that way, the answer is more clear as Magic and Kareem, 2 top...
You're taking the upset?
I'm taking the upset. 2 top 7 teams, or 2 top 7 players of all time, and I'd say everyone's mind, and 2 top 5 in my mind. And just Scottie Pippen would definitely drag that duo down, and Magic Johnson Kareem win the top duo in NBA history championship. And I think this is the best duo of all time. So I would say Magic and Kareem, Michael and Scottie, Kobe and Shaq, and then maybe Bill and Bob. But I think Magic and Kareem are the best duo. I think they would beat Michael and Scottie. What do you think?
Can't argue the upset. I like the outcome.
Yeah, I think this is the best duo. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you had a good time watching. I hope you keep watching more videos, and peace.